We unapologetically interrupt your regularly scheduled season for Notions in Nature, musings of a wannabe forest nymph who has to spend most of her time inside with humans, leaving her slightly nutty. So, I have a confession to make. I have been using meditation to numb my emotions. Yes, I have. And I convinced myself that, I was doing self-care. I was doing meditation. That's what you're supposed to do. Oh, it's all good. And so I wanted to share that with you because that wasn't obvious to me. I was like, oh, I'm doing self-care. This is great. I am, connecting with my body. That's super what I'm supposed to be doing and helpful and productive. But somewhere along the way, I realized, oh my God, I have anxiety. I need to meditate. But what I actually needed to do was deal with my feelings. I needed to figure out why I had anxiety in the first place and what anxiety was telling me. But that was scary. That was harder. The easier thing to do would be just to turn on a meditation and feel my feet on the ground. So I realized that there are two things we need to do with our mind. Two things. Thing number one is we need to figure out I knew this. I guess we need to figure out all the mind BS. I knew this, but I wasn't doing it. Figure out all the mind BS. One of my friends told me that it felt like there was like a ball of yarn, pushing on his head. And I was like, oh my goodness, yes. And we need to unravel that ball, untangle it. Like I'm picturing, I don't know if you've watched the Griswold's family vacation, Christmas vacation. I'm picturing that like giant ball of like Christmas lights that are just in a friggin' knot. And so I've got this like knot of crap, baggage, emotions, stuff from my past that is, causing me to feel frustrated and anxious and heavy. And I was leaning into meditation to sort of numb that, to make that go away. And so now I realized I have two jobs. Job number one is to unravel that ball of mind BS and emotions and baggage. And job number two is to settle and connect with my body. So both of those things are good as long as you don't use one to avoid, doing the other. So how do we unwrap that ball? That's what we're working on. That's, the constant thing that I'm doing. And so what works for me is that I picture whatever's coming up as a child, and then I can, let that child come onto my lap and talk to them, just snuggle with them if I need to, like just say, oh my goodness, you're feeling so anxious. Come here and have a safe place to sit with me. Just sit with me. And so that's harder. It takes a lot more concentration than just, these yoga nidra that I was doing. But unraveling that ball of yarn is really critical to our recovery. So when we are doing meditation, when we are doing any self-care, sometimes I guess it's important to reflect and make sure that we are actually on the right track. So you are doing an amazing job, my friends. Keep going, and we'll talk to you soon. I'd love to personally invite you to share your own notions in nature, or wherever you happen to be. If you're ready to unapologetically stand in your awesomeness and interrupt this program to share your thoughts, contact Christina to learn how.